beautiful Mandalay Casino and Resort at Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. It's the Geary, Stein, and Steven Show with your co-host, Geary. And yes, even Will Stein is here. And of course, your host, fresh off his one-man, legless tribute to Elvis Presley, the hardest working man in show business this week, Dave Stevens.
Oh, I look so good in that gold jacket and impersonating a bad legless impersonation of Elvis Presley. But we continue to churn out the hits here on Radio Row, and I've got a couple of guys. One guy that knows how to deliver hits back in the day as a center, and another one who has been a stuntman, an actor, all kinds of trades, and we'll get into that right now. But joining me here is Randy Grimes, back for Radio Row for your 15th year.
15th time.
I think now you've been here longer than you had a career in the NFL.
I have. Thank you for reminding me.
And you're here representing Athletes in Recovery, which is it's a great organization. Again, those on the outside that didn't play don't realize what the players went through with their heads and all the trauma. But then again, what life was like after the game. They became addicted to painkillers, opiates, and things like that. And what you've done with Athletes in Recovery and your book, Off Center, you've really been vulnerable in what those challenges were like. And for our new audience and people that don't know, Randy, give us a shot at what you've been doing and how you got to this point.
Well, when I came into recovery a little over 14 years ago, there was nothing out there for former NFL players. So I joined with the NFL, and we started the Player Care Foundation, and we started reaching out to different guys. And little did I know that not only former NFL players were struggling, but, well, I knew that, but Major League Baseball, and pretty much every sport you can think of that has an organization that supports their former players, Jockeys Guild, MMA, PGA, pretty much every sport I've been able to help over the last 14 years with their mental health and substance abuse issues. So, I'm grateful. I learned early in recovery that in order to keep what I have, I've got to give it away. And that's what I do every day. And I'm also proud to be not representing, but to have my buddy Bobby here to talk about Stratosphere.
And we'll get to Stratosphere and Bobby in a second. But while you're here, talk about your lowest point and how you were able to recover and get to the point of now helping people.
Yeah, and everybody has a bottom, they say, and it seems like every bottom I hit had a trap door. And it wasn't until the perfect storm was coming together in spring and summer of 2009 that I finally put up my hand and asked for help. And unfortunately, it had to come to that. And that's what I want to prevent today is people from hitting their bottoms. And because a lot of times we don't recover from that. And so that's my role now is to get the word out that it's okay to not be okay, but you've got to ask for help.
And, of course, next to you is Bobby Williams. I guess you're kind of the Jason Kelsey of Radio Row this week because of your partner being Mariel Hemingway, the great actress. And so, again, we're not going to talk about her. We're here to focus on you. And
but again, she's fantastic. Let me tell you something. She's an amazing person.
You're very lucky. There's a lot of guys, us old guys, that would envy what you've got.
My buddies back east give me a hard time about it all day long. Mariel Hemingway, yeah.
Tell us about the Stratosphere and what it does to help people. It allows people to get the elevation of Mount Everest in minutes and then return and not have to go through all of the chambers and I guess the oxygen things that you have to go through.
Correct.
When you're doing that.
Yeah, so this is Stratosphere TC. This is hypobaric, not hyperbaric. Hypobaric is the opposite. You're going up in elevation and back down, but you never go below where you take off from. There's no oxygen. It's ambient air. Basically, we're bringing the mountains to you. Fighters train in the mountains to get better VO2 maxes, to get better red blood cell count, to have more endurance, to raise their EPO. Stratosphere ATC does all of that and more. Raises testosterone, lengthens telomeres, regresses senescent cells. These are things that happen to you as you get older. The telomeres shorten, and we're looking at numbers up to 38% of lengthening. Gets rid of inflammation. So football players, people such as Randy with the knees and all the stuff, it'll help with that inflammation by using it. Gets rid of it for up to 72 hours. And believe it or not, half your DNA will change within 24 to 48 hours of going in. Your body starts to replicate red blood cells as if it's at the elevations we've taken you to.
Now, Randy, if I don't have knees, am I still going to feel
No, yeah, I'm sure. Well, you still got other joints, right? You got plenty of inflammation going on. And, that's what this thing's all about. And, people like us, our age especially, we're perfect candidates for this. And, I hope Bobby's objective someday is to make this available for all of
everybody
the country,
How soon before teams come implement it for recovery and things like that? And is it an expensive procedure?
It costs a lot of money to make this thing. We're working with the U.S. Navy, Air Force, the Mayo Clinic. It's all PVHO ASME certified, so there will be no submarine implodes with this thing. It's been 11 years, 6 years of studies at the Mayo, so we have all of this information. You can go to the stratosphereatc.com and see quite a bit of it in layman's terms. You don't have to be a physicist to read this step to understand it. This is going to make better athletes without having to use things like HGH or steroids. It makes you your best self.
It sounds like it's almost a healthy alternative to injections of testosterone and monitoring those kind of things.
All across the board. You get cellular exercise while in this. Chamber's big enough for a VersaClimber, rowing machine, bicycle, treadmill. We're doing all kinds of training in there. People like David Goggins have been in it. You got LeBron James. We are putting one here front and center at the Apex. UFC fighters. We're going to be doing studies at PTSD with the brain. This will help people in the NFL as well. We're seeing that there's more fluid going up and down in the brain from using the chamber from the fast pressure changes, which is a mechanism for protection. And so the UFC wants to get involved in this big time with their fighters, and it'll cross over to the NFL. It's pretty exciting.
And speaking of NFL, when Randy and I played, the equipment wasn't well, so our helmets, I think we had Rydell kind of helmets.
Rydell.
Like that.
Come on, Wilson, Rydell.
Yeah.
I wore those helmets.
Yeah, so I know what you're going through, and it's so great that the league is finally working on safety.
Absolutely.
Hopefully they continue to embrace the veterans that laid the groundwork for all these guys before. So, Bobby, tell us a little bit of some of the movies and some of the stunts you've done in the field.
Well, I was in quite a few people's living rooms in the last 30, 40 years. I did 167 national commercials, and I was kind of a go-to guy. I was very lucky. I got to do the stunts as well as be the guy in front of the camera, whether it was a Merrill Lynch commercial or a Marlboro thing, or I got to do a lot. I was the hero riding the motorcycle through the church with the ride on the back, and
that was you.
That's cool. Some stunt double stuff. Eric Bana, in the Incredible Hulk. I had a really great career. It's been fantastic, and Meryl and I are working on some projects right now that you'll be seeing over the next couple of years.
All right, and of course your book's still out there, Off Center, still helping people, Randy?
Yes, it is. It's doing great. The reviews have been great. It's been really well received, and we're just, Lydia and I are just grateful for that opportunity to get it out there.
All right, there's no skin in the game, boys, but give me a prediction, or do you even care?
Yeah, I'm an NFC guy, so I got to say I'm a Niner. But both teams are full of playmakers, and it's going to be a fun game.
Bobby?
San Francisco. I'm looking at San Francisco. I'm hoping. Come on, the underdog.
All right, and by the way, boys, if you want to just hand this over there to Randy, all of our guests that join us are given a great cell phone charger by our beautiful friends at Serendipity Yachts, Cruises, and Events. So we're out and about. We appreciate you guys joining us. Little token of our love I love this guy, Randy, man. He's been through so much, and now you're helping so many people, and it's just been great to see. I know how low you were, and it's great to see these highs that you're doing with everybody. So
thanks for having me,
Bobby. Thank you both for having us. Let me pay a couple of bills. We'll be right back. You're watching Geary, Stein, and Stevens live on Radio Row. We're looking for Brian Billick, hopefully here in a second, so don't go away.
Good job, man.
Serendipity Yacht Cruises and Events wants you to come party with us in 2024. Mark your calendar for Saturday, May 4th, because we're calling all Star Wars fans with a costume contest and an awesome Star Wars prize. Then on Saturday, August 10th, it's a Hollywood Night of Dreams with music, games, contests, and surprises. Both parties will be at the beautiful South Shore Harbor Resort with amazing food, fun activities, live entertainment, and a cash bar, plus some additional surprises. Saturday, May 4th and Saturday, August 10th. Come party with us. SYCE. More than a yacht, it's serendipity.
Hi everybody, Dave Stevens here for the Geary, Stein, and Stevens Show from Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Rays. And you know what? Not everybody can be a Major League Baseball player, but you can look like $1 million. What's the best way to do that? Well, go to freshcleanthreads.com. Don't believe me?
That's right, you can look professional, feel good, and not spend a lot of money by wearing Fresh Clean Threads. They have amazing shirts. They've got Henleys and polos, long sleeves, and even bomber jackets. And if you like them, you can save some money by typing in the show code GSS Show from the Geary, Stein, and Steven Show to save 20% off. So if you can't be a major leaguer and you want to dress like one, well, go to freshcleanthreads.com. That's freshcleanthreads.com. Tell them Dave sent you. Use that code GSS Show.
They can strike anytime or anywhere. You can have one while giving a speech at your best friend's wedding or in the middle of your uncle's funeral. It's called a wingasm, and it occurs when you bet and win with MyBookie. And this football season, enjoy more wingasms than ever with new features like early cash out. So you can pull out and enjoy an early wingasm, then bet those funds immediately. Tired of waiting all day for your
Is this
money?
like Zoom where you can
Bet settlement. And with enhanced game lines and live betting and streaming,
right.
you can bet right up until kickoff, then place more bets during the game. Oh, and what would a new season be without a $100,000 Survivor contest and a Super contest with a cash pot of $250,000? Have more wingasms more often with MyBookie.
have fun. Don't say anything stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey there, kids. Welcome back to Radio Row. We kicked out a couple of our guests, but as you can see in the chair, I have a star. A star is born. So, how are you, Mira? What's been going on in your life? The lovely and talented Mira.
Oh, thank you.
Where have you been?
I have been worried. You were just speaking to my significant other. I'll call him my husband for lack of a better term. We've been together. We've been working. He talked about the Stratosphere Chamber. So we've been doing that for the last 11 years. But we're an overnight success, as you know. Kind of entrepreneurship on steroids.
Are you using it? Because you look amazing.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yes, I am. I get in that chamber all the time. I'm so lucky and so fortunate.
What do you do these days? Are you still acting?
Yeah, I am. I'm acting once in a while, but mostly I'm producing. I'm producing my grandfather's book, A Movable Feast, his book of the same name.
Who was your grandfather?
Who was my grandfather? I think he was Ernest Hemingway. Yeah,
He
one of
wrote
the.
a couple of things.
Yeah, he wrote a couple
Mad
of things.
Magazine or something like that?
Exactly. So I've got 3 projects that are sort of Hemingway related that are limited series.
No
So
more track and field movies or anything like that?
I would like to do a track and field movie, but who knows? I don't know.
Let's talk about that movie back in the day. It was ahead of its time.
Totally.
Now nobody would blink twice to think
I know. I think about everything I did in my career. I did like 2 to 10 years early.
Well, it's great with everything going on. What are you looking forward to this week other than being around all these media beat?
Well, this is really interesting. Not being a part of the sports world, except when I make a movie about it, it's very interesting. It's a whole different demographic. It's interesting to talk to people that, their focus is on, American football and these kinds of things. And, it's such an American tradition, and we all love it, no matter who we are, what part of the country we come from.
Well, you're at the Oscars and Grammys of sports this week anyway.
There you go.
Final question. It seems like we're almost getting to a point where women are getting their due as far as directors, writers, producers.
Yes.
But what's it going to take when we see those Oscar nominations that we're not like, hey, how can somebody create such an amazing movie yet not get the award for it?
I think things are changing. It always takes time for the world to shift into a different mindset. But, that is changing all the time. You see it all over the place. Women are still not paid as much and things, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's always getting better. And I'm just of the belief that eventually all these things will come to an even keel.
Do people still recognize you?
Well, they do here, but only people of our age. There you go. No,
All right. Thank
you're
you
very
very
kind.
much.
You're not
Thank you
dirty.
for- This is my highlight of the week.
Oh,
Here.
thank you
Again,
so
On
much.
behalf of Stratosphere, ETC, and again, it sounds great if it can help you eliminate pain and things like that. If
Yes.
you have to take chemicals and injections of steroids. it's
Absolutely.
just awesome. So,
Yeah, so
all right,
good.
I'll let you guys go.
All
What a
right.
Great surprise. I'm so excited.
Thank you
So,
for talking to me.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate you being
so
such a
good.
sport.
Oh,
So,
no worries.
all right, that's
Cool.
it. You never know who we're going to get at Radio Row. I am Dave Stevens. I am so excited to. Here, I'm almost speechless, but don't go away. You're watching Geary, Stein, and Stevens. Who's next? Bo Derek? I don't know. We'll talk to you guys in just a bit.
Thank you. That was sweet.
Thank you for watching the Geary, Stein, and Stevens show from Super Bowl 58. You can watch all of the episodes at yourhometv.com or download the Your Home TV app on Roku. Follow the boys on all social media and podcast apps.